Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So I just got back from our nearby tourist surf town, the town of Hako, which is about 25 minutes away from where I am right now. And the streets were really busy. A lot more restaurants are open, bars are open, things are starting to happen again. Now here in Costa Rica, we're now headed into the dry season. So the rains have stopped and this is what's known as the peak season, the high season. So tourism starts to come back. But it's not just that, it's also because I think a lot of people are seeing that there's now light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic. With these vaccines coming out, people are starting to feel a little bit more optimistic and they're starting to travel again and come here. Now, for a while, especially mid-2019, it was looking pretty dark and gloomy here. I mean, for one, we were in the rainy season, so naturally tourism went down. Most of the hotels around here had practically nothing, but the pandemic really just killed it. So tourism here in Costa Rica, it's an enormous industry. I think it's like 15% of the entire economy, something like that. So a lot of people depend on it. At mid-2019, a lot of people, including myself, were starting to feel very down about the whole thing. It just looked like it wasn't going to end. There was just a lot of uncertainty. But that's what I want to talk to you about today. Good times and bad times, no matter what time you're in right now, the most important words that you can always remember, this has got me through a lot of dark times, is this too shall pass. And I don't know who said that, but I remember coming across that, I read it, and those words just always stuck with me. When you're going through really dark times and things are just they're looking like mid-2019 for a lot of us. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when things are going to get better. Whenever you're going through a situation like that, or it could be personally, you might have something going on in your life right now. As bad as everything is, it's always helpful to remind yourself that this is only temporary. If I can just get through this for a few more weeks or a few more months, or sometimes during those really difficult challenges, it might even be years, but if I can just get through this, eventually this will be over and things will improve. Now on the flip side of this is when things are going incredibly well, when everything's going your way, you've got all this momentum behind you and life just, it's like everything falls into place. Things are going incredibly well. It's always really good, really important to remember that that's only temporary as well. And no one wants to hear that when things are going well. Believe me, I've been in that situation where everything's going perfectly and then one day it's not. Now the important thing here is that you remind yourself that it's all only temporary and then you prepare accordingly. Now even having said that, when things are going really well, it's hard to prepare for the more difficult times because they don't seem like they're going to ever happen. But they will happen. That's the dark side of being super successful in anything you do. At some point, it always ends. Now, what does that mean for you? I don't know. It really depends on what field you're in and how we define success. But my point is, always be thinking in the back of your mind, and this isn't about being negative, but always be thinking that as great as everything is, this is only temporary. At some point, the music stops and I'm going to need to get out of a hole. Something's going to go wrong. It always does, unfortunately. So you need to prepare for those moments. And when you are in your darkest moments, when everything is just piling in on you and you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you feel like you've completely run out of any optimism about the future, just hang on to that. This too shall pass. So remember those 4 words, and I hope this helps you sometime in the future. I'll see you tomorrow.